So this is the Plectrum virtual instrument. It's a TBI instrument. I'm going to play. I loaded it up here. It's a Yamaha grand piano. But I strummed it. I strummed the strings up top and I scraped them down below. So it's a Yamaha grand piano, but it's all been strummed. You can put a couple of them together. And then I did the same thing with another piano, the farm piano. It's a little bit out of tune.
Now, how is that possible?
That's, you open up a grand piano. Here, I'll show you. You open up a grand piano and you're playing it, and you pull the pedals down and you reach inside and strum it. Well, that's what I did. I strummed things. Look, here's a fingertip piano. I actually play with a fingertip. I'll select the struck strings and load up the struck strings, and I selected variable fingertip piano. So this is back to the 7-foot grand piano, but I'm touching the strings instead of playing them with a key. And each key is different. You can hit repeated notes, but if I use different fingers and hit it more than once at a time, I get a different sound. Also, check this. If you take 2 pieces of silverware and you throw them together on a pillow, it can make a nice sound. I collected a bunch of those, and that's the attack of this sound. Struck strings too, maybe you could get something. This one sounds like a dulcimer really, but it was a piano. But I played it with a teaspoon. Play the strings with a teaspoon. But now that we can play with, here's the same thing with show you at the end here. There's guitar harmonics underneath it. So there's prepared instruments, found sounds, and habitats. Some of the found sounds may be glass vessels. You take a jar and you hit it with a chopsticks. Hit it with chopsticks back and forth. Maybe take 20 samples at a time. So you can play a bunch of different notes, and you're always getting a different sample, so you never get that rat-a-tat-tat that you hear on sampled instruments. Ceramics sound very different. This is a teacup hit with a prepared instruments, found sounds, and habitats. So this is a ceramic, right? Underneath is all acoustic sound. So I make it with it. You might want to have in the pluck strings category, this might sound like a guitar at times, but it's really just a piano with a pluck, a harpsichord. It'll sound like a harpsichord sometimes. But I plucked it as my, the Plectrum in this case is my fingernail. So this was a Wurlitzer baby grand piano. Here's another one where it's there's 12 levels of pitch shifting on velocity. There's 185 instruments in all. It's a 7 gigabyte library. It's all playing from discs. There are no filters, no synth envelopes, just real materials and real environments. They're all samples. They're all samples. How many multi-samples? It's hard to say, really, but there are hundreds of samples under HP right here. This one here, here is that same piano. So this one was plugged a little bit closer to the middle of the string, right, so to get a much rounder sound. In the string harmonics category. Oh wow! I played pianos, but you stop the string. You play the harmonics out of the grand piano. So this is the Yamaha C7, but it's the harmonics of it. Wow! And I've mapped them out so that you play it like a piano again, right? Even though that note was probably down here originally. And they're all, let's see, here's just the higher harmonics. And just the really radical harmonics. Here's one where there's a habitat in it, or silverware added. So there might be 6 different round robins here. There's different velocities too. So you never really have to keep track of it. Because it'll just sort of sound acoustic the way it is. It cuts through a mix, that's for sure. That's a bird. Different one each time. Actually, it's not different. This one is not different. Oh, okay. Here's some guitar harmonics. I retuned the guitar to make sure that I got a whole series of notes. For harmonics, but here it is where you can touch for the series. So here I'll just play 2 notes. Here's that with the silver added. So with this streaming engine behind it, I did in the metals category. I'll show you. Let's see. In the metals, it's all streaming, or it's all streaming. It's all streaming. It's based on the GBI engine. So I licensed that engine, and it becomes self-contained with its own player. Hardtask VST and standalone. This is cups. You see, they're cups filled with water, and they're set 1. There's a couple of sets of those. Here they are where they're mostly rising, mostly falling, and here. And then here it is with the glass. Other metals here, I made mirrors. Made of coat hangers. You take a coat hanger and you flatten it out one end and you make it tight and you pluck it, and you won't hear it very much unless you're like chewing on it. Then your skull vibrates, and that's the resonator. Well, I used the baby grand piano soundboard, all that spruce, 4 feet of spruce with the dampers up. So I take a sound and it turns into something. Like that. Did the same thing here with a handheld music box. Handheld music box, that's nice. Combine that. I'll combine that music box with the fingertip pianos, and that's a really nice sound. So that's an 88-note sound. Down here, here's the scraping of the string up here. So there you go. That's Plectrum. Prepared instruments, found sounds, and habitats available at Helio.